The screams were muffled at first, just sharp, high-pitched sounds pressing through the thick apartment door. But then they got louder, ragged, panicked, pleading. A neighbor had already called 911. "She's not answering." The voice on the phone trembled. "There's blood! There's blood under the door!" Inside, the lights were on, flickering some of them. The bathroom door was locked. Paramedics rushed in, followed closely by 2 uniformed officers. Their boots echoed across the hardwood floors. The scene was still, too still. Then came the stench, something metallic, sharp. Blood. The door gave way with a crack, wood splintering as the paramedics shoved through it with brute force. What they saw next would haunt every responder in that room for the rest of their lives. There she was. Erica Delgado, 28 years old, lifeless. Her eyes half open. Her body lay in the bathtub, twisted unnaturally, one hand dangling over the side. A white towel, soaked in red, clung to her chest. The bathroom mirror was foggy, but on it, smudged handprints, red smeared handprints, bloody fingerprints everywhere, across the mirror, on the sink, on the door handle. There was a note taped to the wall. "I'm sorry. I couldn't take it anymore." Beside the sink was her engagement ring. In the sink was the engagement ring. There were signs of struggle, scratches along Erica's arms, bruises just forming around her neck. Her fingernails were chipped, like she'd clawed at something. Or someone. One of the paramedics, a young man, stepped back and whispered, "This wasn't suicide." And standing outside the crowd that had gathered around the flashing lights, unnoticed at first, was Samantha Reyes. Her face was wet with tears. Her hands trembled. But her eyes were steady, watching. She would later say she came to check on Erica. But there were no tears when she was alone. Here was only a smile. And that was the moment this story truly began. But to understand what happened in that bathroom, to understand why a bright, kind-hearted nurse with her whole life ahead of her ended up dead in her own bathtub, you have to go back. Back before the blood, before the obsession, before the secrets, back to 6 months earlier. Erica Delgado clocked in for her 7 a.m. shift at Trinity Mercy Hospital in Dallas. She wore her favorite pair of blue scrubs, the ones she said made her look awake even when she was running on 2 hours of sleep. Her hair was pulled into a tight bun, and her badge swung gently as she walked through the hospital halls. The ER was already buzzing with activity, patients groaning in pain, nurses darting from room to room, and doctors shouting for charts. But Erica loved it. She thrived in chaos. That's what everyone said. She greeted her best friend, Nina Torres, with a tired smile and a travel mug full of gas station coffee. "You look like death," Nina joked. "Thank you," Erica shot back with a smirk. Just what every woman wants to hear at 7 a.m. Erica wasn't just good at her job, she was great. Patients remembered her name. Doctors trusted her. She had a gentle touch and a fast mind. But what really made her shine was her heart. She genuinely cared. At lunch, she pulled out her phone and texted her fiancé, Jason Miller. "Erica, crazy shift. Miss you." Jason responded almost instantly. "Jason, can't wait for our weekend away. Just you and me. I love you." She smiled at the screen. That weekend getaway had been Jason's idea. Things had been a little tense lately. Not bad, just off. Erica had been distracted, quiet. She blamed it on stress at work, and that was partly true, but not the whole truth. At the far end of the nurse's station, Samantha Reyes sat at her computer, typing up patient notes. She was in her early 30s, with sharp cheekbones and jet black hair. She kept in a low ponytail. She didn't talk much, but when she did, people listened. There was something magnetic about her, cold, but magnetic. Sam had transferred to Trinity Mercy just under a year ago. No one knew much about her past hospital, except that she left suddenly and needed a change. She was good at what she did, calm under pressure, fiercely intelligent. But there were whispers. Nurses said she sometimes stayed late when she didn't have to, that she didn't really have any friends outside the hospital, that she had a temper. Erica had noticed her before, of course. Everyone had. But it wasn't until a hectic night shift that they truly connected. A patient had coded. The ER was chaos. Alarms, blood, shouts. Erica froze for a moment, overwhelmed. And Sam stepped in. Cool, collected, in control. They worked together, seamlessly. After the patient was stabilized, they shared a quiet moment in the break room. "You okay?" Sam asked. Erica nodded. "Yeah, just, that one got to me." Sam handed her a water bottle and sat beside her. "You're good. Better than good. You just care too much. That's dangerous in this job." There was a pause, a long one. Then Erica whispered, "Yeah, I know." Something passed between them in that moment. A look, a kind of understanding. That was the beginning. It started slow, innocent even. Late-night talks, shared jokes, stolen moments during long shifts. Erica never meant for anything to happen. She loved Jason. She really did. But Sam made her feel seen. Really seen. Like she wasn't just another overworked nurse or a soon-to-be wife stuck in wedding planning mode. With Sam, she felt electric. One night, after a grueling double shift, Erica sat in Sam's car. The windows fogged up from the rain. They were laughing about something stupid. A patient who thought he was dying of a sneeze. Then the laughter faded, and silence settled. Sam looked at her, and kissed her. Erica didn't pull away. She kissed her back. After that night, nothing was the same. Erica tried to ignore it, to chalk it up to exhaustion, loneliness, confusion. She told herself it was a mistake, that it wouldn't happen again. But it did. More than once. And every time, Sam got more attached, more intense. She started showing up unannounced, waiting in the hospital parking lot after Erica's shift, texting constantly, asking questions about Jason. Erica grew anxious. She started checking over her shoulder. She avoided conversations with Nina. She stopped talking about Jason at work. Sam told Erica she loved her. Erica didn't say it back. One night, Sam showed up outside Erica's apartment, crying, shaking, saying she'd taken too many pills. "I can't live without you," she said through sobs. "You can't leave me." Erica panicked, called an ambulance, stayed by Sam's side at the hospital. Sam recovered. The pills had been harmless. Over-the-counter sleep meds, barely enough to cause drowsiness. That was when Erica knew she had to end it. She tried. She really tried. But Sam wouldn't let go. And that was before the night Erica found the note slipped under her apartment door. It was written in jagged, rushed handwriting. "If I can't have you, no one can." Erica didn't tell anyone. Not Jason, not Nina. She just folded the note, tucked it in her wallet, and tried to pretend everything was fine. That was her mistake. That was the beginning of the end. And it all led to one night. One final confrontation. One final scream. The night Erica Delgado opened her door one last time. To let in a killer. 6 months before Erica's body was found in that cold, blood-stained bathtub, she was the heart of Trinity Mercy Hospital's emergency room. She moved through the halls like she belonged there. And she did. Her laugh echoed through the nurses' station. She brought in donuts on Fridays and remembered patients' birthdays. She worked long shifts but never complained. People said she made the hardest job in the hospital look easy. Everyone loved Erica Delgado. Doctors trusted her. Nurses leaned on her. Patients, many scared and alone, felt safe when she walked into their room. But what made Erica special wasn't just her skill. It was her spirit. She had a way of making people feel like they mattered. And outside of the hospital, Erica had a full life waiting for her. She was engaged to Jason Miller, a quiet, thoughtful software engineer who adored her. They met at a concert 3 years earlier. Erica had spilled her drink on him, and Jason had laughed instead of getting mad. That night, they talked for 5 hours straight, and they'd been together ever since. Jason was the kind of guy who packed her lunches, left sticky notes on the mirror with little hearts, and rubbed her feet when she came home aching from a double shift. They had just signed a lease on a townhouse near White Rock Lake. A dog, a wedding, and maybe kids. All of that was on the horizon. Erica was happy. Or at least, that's what it looked like from the outside. It started subtly, little cracks in her perfect life. She began coming home late, staying behind at the hospital long after her shift had ended. She said she was catching up on paperwork. Jason believed her. At first, it was just paperwork, and coffee, and long conversations. Samantha Reyes was quiet, but when she spoke, people stopped to listen. She had a calmness about her, like nothing could shake her. In the high-pressure chaos of the ICU, that made her stand out. She didn't gossip, didn't party, didn't overshare. She was professional, respectful, smart. And something about her drew people in, even though she kept most of them at arm's length. Sam had transferred from a hospital in Austin. When people asked why, she said she needed a fresh start. No one pushed for more details. The official story was that she left for a better position. But behind closed doors, whispers swirled. Nurses said she'd taken mental health leave a year earlier, that something had happened, that she'd been involved with a colleague. No one had proof, just rumors. Erica didn't ask questions. They first crossed paths during a particularly rough night in the ER. A teenage girl had come in after a car accident. Erica was holding pressure on the girl's neck, her scrubs soaked in blood. Sam showed up with extra supplies before Erica even asked. They worked together like they'd done it 100 times. Quiet communication, fast hands, one mission, save the girl's life. Later that night, they sat together in the break room. The fluorescent lights buzzed softly above them. "You did good in there," Sam said, sipping from a can of soda. Erica shrugged. "Didn't feel like it." "That's how you know you care," Sam said, meeting her eyes. Something about the way she said it, soft, knowing, made Erica feel seen. It started with coffee, then shared lunches, then texts, long, late-night texts. They'd talk about patients, about stress, about how sometimes they felt like they were breaking, but couldn't afford to show it. Erica had always been strong, but she didn't feel strong around Sam. She felt vulnerable, and in a strange way, that felt good. It was during one of those night shifts when the line between friendship and something else finally blurred. They were sitting in the parking garage, waiting for the rain to stop. Sam reached out and touched Erica's hand. Not by accident, not casually. A deliberate, gentle touch. Erica didn't move away. They didn't kiss that night, but something had changed. From then on, every glance lingered too long. Every touch carried meaning. Erica tried to pull back. She loved Jason. She knew this wasn't right. But Sam was persistent. She knew exactly what to say to make Erica stay a little longer, to make her feel a little more special. She picked up on every detail. What made Erica laugh? What made her cry? What made her feel like no one else could understand? And Erica, despite herself, was drawn in. The first kiss happened 2 weeks later, in the supply closet. It was quick, breathless, dangerous. Afterward, Erica was shaking. "This can't happen again," she whispered. Sam just nodded. But it did happen again. They kept it secret. Erica told no one. She still went home to Jason, still wore her engagement ring, still planned their wedding. But something inside her was shifting. She started showing up late to dinner, canceling plans, losing sleep. Jason noticed. "You've been off lately," he said one night. "Is everything okay?" Erica smiled. "Just work stress. Nothing to worry about." He believed her. But Nina didn't. Nina Torres had known Erica since nursing school. They were more like sisters than friends. And Nina noticed the change right away. Erica stopped laughing as much. She snapped more easily. She checked her phone constantly but never said who she was texting. "Who's got you so distracted?" Nina asked one day. "Just Sam," Erica said, trying to sound casual. "She's going through some stuff." But the truth was, Sam was the reason Erica couldn't sleep. The reason she couldn't breathe without guilt tightening around her chest. Sam began to change too. She got jealous. Possessive. She asked about Jason constantly, what he was like, whether he made Erica happy, whether she'd ever really loved him. At first, it was flattering. The intensity, the way Sam looked at her like she was the only person in the world who mattered. But it quickly turned dark. One night after Erica tried to end things, Sam showed up at her apartment building, soaking wet from the rain. "You don't mean it," she said, voice trembling. "I do," Erica whispered. Sam stepped forward. "I need you, Erica. You're the only one who ever understood me." Erica was silent. Sam grabbed her wrist, not hard but firm. "If you leave me, I don't know what I'll do." Erica pulled away. She didn't sleep that night. A week later, Erica found the first note in her locker. "I see how you look at him, but he doesn't see the real you. I do." No signature. She knew it was from Sam. She didn't tell anyone. She just threw it away. But they kept coming. Sometimes slipped into her bag, sometimes taped to her car windshield. And every time she tried to distance herself, Sam found a new way to pull her back in. Apologies, tears, threats. Erica began feeling trapped. At work, she kept smiling. At home, she kept pretending. But her world was shrinking. And no one, not Jason, not Nina, not her coworkers, knew how close she was to the edge. Then one day, during a quiet afternoon shift, Nina found Erica in the bathroom crying. "What's going on?" she asked, concerned. Erica shook her head. "It's just everything. It's too much." Nina placed a hand on her shoulder. "Talk to me, please." But Erica only smiled weakly and said, "I'm fine." That night, Sam sent another text. "I know you're scared, but I would never hurt you. I love you, Erica. We belong together." Erica didn't respond. She turned off her phone. She told herself she was done. But Sam wasn't. And the next time they saw each other would be the last time Erica ever walked out of that hospital unafraid. It was a Thursday night, calm and cool, the air heavy with the scent of freshly cut grass and summer rain. Erica had just finished a 12-hour shift. She looked tired but beautiful, her bun a little looser than usual, her scrubs slightly wrinkled, and her eyes carrying that quiet kind of sadness only a few people could ever really see. She smiled goodnight to Nina and walked out of Trinity Mercy Hospital for the last time. Security cameras captured her walking through the staff exit at 8:47 p.m. She was holding a tote bag and car keys, her head down, face half lit by the flickering parking lot lights. What the cameras didn't see, what no one could possibly know, was that Erica had spent her last shift making a decision. She was going to end it. For good. No more secret texts. No more lies. No more guilt. She was going to tell Sam that it was over. that she loved Jason, that she was moving on. At 9:02 p.m., Erica entered her apartment building. She never left again. 10 minutes later, at 9:12 p.m., another figure entered through the same door. Smaller, slower, head covered by a hoodie. Samantha Reyes. No one buzzed her in. She used a key. A key Erica never gave her. Security footage caught a glimpse of her face as she turned the corner toward the stairwell. Her expression was unreadable, calm, focused, like she was following a script she'd rehearsed 100 times. Inside the apartment, neighbors heard nothing at first. Just footsteps, then voices. One angry, one pleading, then silence. Sam stayed in the apartment for exactly 1 hour and 32 minutes. She left at 10:44 p.m. carrying a gym bag. Her hoodie was zipped up to her neck. Her sleeves were rolled over her hands. Her eyes were red, but not from crying. They were clear, unblinking. Downstairs, the lobby camera caught her pressing the elevator button. She shifted the bag to her other hand. There was something long and dark in the side pocket. The next morning, Jason knocked on Erica's door at 9:06 a.m. They had breakfast plans. She didn't answer. He knocked again, then called, then texted. Still nothing. Something didn't feel right. Erica was always up early, even after long shifts. She loved mornings with Jason. She'd leave the door unlocked when she knew he was coming, but this time, it was locked. He tried to call Nina, then the hospital. No one had seen her. His chest tightened with something he couldn't name yet. Panic, maybe, or dread. At 9:42 a.m., Jason called the police when Ficers arrived. They knocked loudly. No response. One officer peered through the peephole and noticed a thin red smear on the inside of the doorknob. They forced the door open. The air hit them first. Warm, stale, heavy with the scent of iron and something else. Something sweet and wrong. They called out her name. No answer. They moved slowly through the apartment. The bedroom was untouched. Neat, almost too neat. The bed was made. A picture of Erica and Jason sat on the nightstand, both smiling at the camera, unaware of what was coming. In the living room, her phone was plugged into the charger. One unread text message from Jason blinked on the lock screen. "Let me in. I'm starting to worry." The bathroom door was closed. They knocked again. No response. Then they opened it. There she was, Erica Delgado, face pale and still, lying in the bathtub. She was wearing a white nightgown. Her head was resting against the tile wall. Her skin had already started to cool. Her neck was dark with bruises. Her lips tinted blue. There was a typed note taped to the bathroom mirror. "I'm sorry, I couldn't live like this anymore." The officers didn't buy it. There were signs of struggle, faint, but there. Tiny scratches on her wrists, a broken fingernail on her right hand, a smudge of blood on the doorframe, far from the bathtub. They sealed off the scene and called in the forensics team. Nothing about it looked right. For one, the note was printed, not handwritten. No printer was found in the apartment, and the bathroom trash had been emptied, wiped clean. But there was one thing they missed. A single wine glass sitting on the kitchen counter. Clear. Innocent. They sent it to the lab. What came back changed everything. 2 DNA samples. One was Erica's. The other was Sam's. Detectives began piecing together the timeline. They interviewed neighbors. One said she heard soft arguing around 9:30. Another swore they heard a door slam. Sam told police she hadn't seen Erica in days, that she was at home all night, but her phone data told a different story. She had turned off her location services. But she forgot about the car GPS. At 8:50 p.m. Her car was parked 2 blocks from Erica's apartment. At 10:45, it left. Detective Carla Morgan, now leading the investigation, started digging deeper. She found hospital logs showing Erica and Sam working the same shifts for months. Too many coincidences. Too much time together. Nina came forward, said Erica had seemed off for weeks, said she was scared, said she thought someone was following her. Jason, devastated and confused, agreed to help however he could. When they brought him in to identify the body, he was quiet at first. Then he saw her. His knees gave out. He collapsed on the cold white tile floor of the morgue. And that's when the grief turned into something else. Something darker. He looked up at the coroner with hollow eyes and asked one question: who did this to her? The news of Erica Delgado's death spread through Trinity Mercy Hospital like a shockwave. It hit just after the morning shift change. Nurses walking in with coffee cups and sleepy eyes, doctors reviewing patient charts, janitors mopping the same floors Erica had walked only days before. Word started as a whisper, uncertain and shaky. Did you hear about Erica? Is it true? She's gone? Then someone printed the news article and taped it to the bulletin board in the break room. ER nurse found dead in apparent suicide. Everything stopped. Conversations halted. Cups were set down. A few minutes later, the sobbing began. It wasn't just grief. It was disbelief. Erica wasn't the kind of person who would just give up. She was strong. She was vibrant. She had a fiancé. She had plans. Jason, still reeling from what he had seen in the morgue, couldn't make sense of the articles either. He barely slept the night after identifying the lie about work stress. It wasn't adding up. She went to Detective Carla Morgan. Carla was already uneasy about the scene. She'd been on the force for 12 years and had seen more than her share of suicides. But something about this one didn't sit right. Too clean. Too staged. The note was typed. The body posed just so. The wine glass carefully placed. Too carefully. Then came the missing medication bottles. Erica's prescription anti-anxiety pills were nowhere to be found. Not in the bathroom. Not in the bedroom. Not in the trash. Jason said she hadn't taken them in weeks. But the prescription had just been refilled. Then there was the matter of Erica's last few shifts. A few days before she died, Erica had treated a difficult patient, a man who'd come into the ER drunk and aggressive. He shouted at staff, threw his chart, and even pushed a nurse. Carla wondered, could he have something to do with this? She brought him in for questioning. The man was gruff, rude, defensive. But ultimately, he had an alibi. He'd been in a detox center the night of Erica's death. Dead end. Carla pressed further. She interviewed staff, one after another. Most had nothing useful to add. Just memories, smiles, tears. Then she got to Nina. Nina was quiet at first, but then she said it. I think Erica was scared of someone. I think she was being watched. Carla's ears perked up. By who? Nina hesitated. I don't know, but maybe Sam. Carla blinked. Samantha Reyes? Nina nodded slowly. They were close, too close, and then not. Carla leaned forward. You think they were more than friends? I think Sam was in love with her, Nina said. And I think Erica tried to end it. That changed everything. Carla started requesting records, phone logs, text messages, hospital schedules. She learned that Sam and Erica had worked 29 of the same shifts in the last 3 months, that Sam had called Erica 11 times in the last 2 days before her death, that Sam's alibi for the night of the death was home alone. And then, the wine glass results came in. Sam's DNA. The lab also found faint traces of acetaminophen powder around the sink drain, a common over-the-counter painkiller. But when Carla checked Erica's toxicology report, there was none in her system. Someone had poured it out, maybe to make it look like a suicide. Carla called Sam in for questioning. Sam came in wearing black again and a silver locket with Erica's initials. "I still can't believe she's gone," she said, tears welling up on cue. "She was like a sister to me." Carla nodded slowly. "Tell me about the night she died." "I was home," Sam said, "alone, watching Netflix. I didn't hear until the next morning." Carla nodded again. Let her talk. Let her think she was in control. Then she slid the printout across the table. Sam's face went still. "What's this?" she asked. "A timeline," Carla said calmly. "Of Erica's building, of who entered and who left." Sam's hands began to shake. Carla leaned in slightly. "You were there, Sam. We know." For a moment, Sam said nothing. Then she whispered, "She wanted to end it. I didn't want her to." Carla's heart stopped. It wasn't a confession, but it was close. Too close. And just like that, the mask of grief began to crack. Detective Carla Morgan sat in her car outside the precinct, staring at the glowing screen of her dashboard tablet. A photograph of Erica Delgado smiled back at her. So full of life, so unsuspecting. She'd seen a lot in her career. Gang violence, cold-blooded murders, domestic disputes gone horribly wrong. But this case had twisted itself into her gut in a way others hadn't. Everything looked like suicide at first. Neat, clean, tidy, almost too tidy. But her instincts had kept whispering too. Same thing. It wasn't. Erica had no history of mental illness, no suicide notes in her journals, no signs of depression reported by her coworkers, except one, Samantha Reyes, who suddenly seemed a little too visible in the aftermath. Too emotional. Too involved. Then came Nina's quiet but powerful warning. "I think Sam was obsessed with her." That's when Carla really started pulling the thread. She requested Erica's phone logs. The basic ones didn't show much, just a handful of calls to and from Jason, a few from coworkers. But when Carla asked for the deleted data, the real story began to bleed through. There was an unknown number, one not saved in Erica's contact list, that had exchanged hundreds of texts with her over the past 2 months. But suddenly, just days before her death, those texts stopped. Disappeared. Carla subpoenaed access to Erica's cloud backups. It took days to get through the legal red tape. But when it finally came through, what they found chilled her. There were over 350 messages exchanged between Erica and the unsaved number. The last one sent the night she died. Sent by Erica. 7:44 p.m. "Please don't come over tonight. This has to stop. I'm sorry." And then, nothing. Detectives traced the number. It belonged to Samantha Reyes. With every passing hour, the picture became clearer. Sam hadn't just been involved with Erica. She had latched onto her. There were voice notes, dozens of them, retrieved from the cloud. Carla listened to every one. "You said you felt the same. Was that all a lie? I'm shaking. I haven't eaten. I can't breathe. Please don't leave me. If you don't answer, I'll know you hate me. I'll know I'm nothing." Some messages were full of tears, others, rage. And one, sent just 4 days before the murder, was particularly disturbing. "If you walk away, I swear I'll tell Jason everything. I'll tell the hospital. I don't care anymore." Carla clenched her jaw as she listened to it. There was no doubt now. This wasn't a love affair gone wrong. This was a trap. Erica had been trying to pull herself out of it. And Sam wasn't going to let her. They brought Sam back in for another round of questioning. She arrived with her sister Mariana, who claimed Sam had been with her the entire night of Erica's death. But Carla already had doubts. She quietly pulled Mariana aside. "Did your sister tell you what happened that night?" Mariana hesitated. "She just said she was home. I didn't think I needed to ask more." Carla leaned forward. "You didn't actually see her, did you?" A pause. Then Mariana looked away. "No, I was asleep." The false alibi cracked wide open. Still, the case wasn't airtight. They needed more. Carla requested GPS data from Sam's vehicle. It was a long shot. People don't usually realize their car navigation systems can betray them. But Sam's did. At exactly 8:51 p.m., her car was parked 2 blocks from Erica's apartment. At 10:45, it was on the move again, driving back toward Sam's home. The exact window during which Erica had been killed. Carla rubbed her forehead and took a long breath. This was enough to press harder, but not enough for a warrant. Not yet. Jason, meanwhile, was crumbling. He sat in Carla's office the next day, wringing his hands. His hair was a mess, eyes red, voice flat. "She never said anything was wrong," he muttered. "She never told me she was seeing anyone else." Carla nodded. "Sometimes, victims don't speak out because they're afraid, or ashamed." "She wasn't like that," Jason said bitterly. "She told me everything." Carla hesitated. "She was trying to protect you. You were the one thing she wanted to keep safe." Jason covered his face with both hands. "She told me she loved me the night before she died." "I believe she did," Carla said softly. "But she was being threatened, emotionally manipulated." That same week Orella received a tip from another nurse, one who'd known Sam during her time at the previous hospital in Austin. She had been involved with a female coworker there too. When the woman broke it off, Sam had spiraled, took medical leave, disappeared for months. No formal complaints were ever filed, nothing on paper. But the pattern was there, and now, history had repeated itself. Meanwhile, Sam started showing up at strange places. One nurse said she saw her parked across from Nina's house. Another said she'd received a message asking, "Did Erica ever talk about me? What did she say?" Carla caught wind of this and grew alarmed. Was Sam trying to control the narrative? Cover her tracks? Or was she unraveling? Whatever it was, the tension was climbing. And Carla knew the next move had to be bold. So she returned to Erica's apartment. This time, she brought a forensic tech and a blacklight. In the drain, they found traces of acetaminophen, just like before. But this time, they also found microscopic blood droplets on the bathroom wall, high up. Higher than Erica could have reached from the tub. It pointed to a struggle. Someone else had been there. It was the break Carla had been waiting for. She looked over the entire timeline once more. Sam's messages, the deleted data, the GPS, the wine glass, the false alibi, and now, the droplets. One final piece was missing. And that came when Carla requested surveillance from a small convenience store a block from Erica's apartment. At 10:50 p.m., a woman in a hoodie entered. She bought a soda and a travel-size bottle of bleach. And as she leaned forward to count her change, the camera caught her face. Samantha Reyes. Now there was no doubt. Carla sat back in her chair. The threads weren't just unraveling. They were tightening into a noose. And it was only a matter of time before Sam's entire world came crashing down. Detective Carla Morgan stood in front of the whiteboard, a sea of photos and red strings stretching from corner to corner. Maps, messages, call logs, GPS paths. In the center, tacked like a bullseye, was a photo of Erica Delgado's bright, smiling face. To the left, Samantha Reyes. Calm, cold, calculated. But what was still missing was why. Why did this woman, praised by coworkers, trusted by patients, slip into Erica's world like a shadow and never let go? That answer came in the form of a confidential call from a nurse named Amanda Brooks. Amanda had worked with Sam at a hospital in Austin, St. Joseph's Memorial. She sounded nervous, like she'd been debating the call for days. "I heard about Erica," Amanda whispered, "and I think I need to tell someone what happened before." To me. Carla scribbled notes as Amanda spoke. They had both been ICU nurses. Sam had seemed friendly, helpful, even funny in her own dark, sarcastic way. At first, Amanda appreciated her support. They bonded over patient deaths and burnout, shared late-night snacks, swapped shift horror stories. Then it got strange. Sam began showing up at Amanda's car after work, texting her at odd hours, leaving notes in her locker. When Amanda tried to set boundaries, Sam got emotional, claimed she was being abandoned, threatened to quit. Amanda went to HR, filed a complaint about boundary violations. Sam was placed on leave. A few weeks later, she requested a transfer. The official record had no mention of the complaint, but Amanda's email chain with HR confirmed it. Carla felt her stomach turn. This wasn't the first time. Sam had a pattern. Then came the second blow. Jason arrived at the precinct with a box of Erica's things. "I found this in her closet," he said, his voice trembling. "It didn't make sense until now." Inside the box were old journals, appointment cards, and a series of printed emails. One chain in particular stood out. Erica had written them to herself, almost like letters she never sent. In one email, dated just 2 weeks before her death, she wrote, "Sam said her ex hit her again. I don't know what to believe anymore. She keeps showing up crying, bruised. But there's never any police reports, no photos, just her stories." That sent Carla back to Sam's statements. She'd mentioned an abusive ex-boyfriend multiple times during her interviews, claimed he was the reason she was emotionally fragile. But when Carla requested police reports from the jurisdiction Sam had lived in, there was nothing. No restraining orders, no 911 calls, no incident reports. The bruises Erica mentioned? Carla now believed Sam inflicted them on herself. The stories, fabricated. It was all part of the trap. Carla took a breath. This wasn't just a crime of passion. This was long-term psychological warfare. A toxic loop of manipulation, emotional blackmail, and calculated grooming. To the hospital staff, Sam was still the grieving friend, the model employee. She hadn't missed a single shift since the funeral. Still carried Erica's photo badge on her lanyard. But behind the scenes, Sam had created a double life. Model nurse by day, obsessive predator in secret. The final crack in the facade came when a nurse technician, Miguel, walked into Carla's office holding a flash drive. "I think you'll want to see this," he said. The flash drive contained backup security footage from the staff lounge. One clip, time-stamped 3 weeks before Erica's murder, showed Sam and Erica sitting on the couch. Erica was texting. Sam was watching her. At one point, Erica left to get a drink from the vending machine. Sam glanced around, then reached slowly into Erica's bag. She pulled out a keyring, studied it, slipped a key off, pocketed it. Carla paused the video. There it was. Proof that Sam had stolen a key to Erica's apartment. Proof she had planned this. Not a heat-of-the-moment rage. Not an accident. Premeditated. Carla got the warrant the next morning. Sam's apartment was clean, minimal, no clutter, no photographs except for one framed picture of Erica on the nightstand. But it was what they found in the closet that froze the room. A locked metal box. Inside were journals, 4 of them, each one filled front to back with tight, slanted handwriting. They weren't just notes. They were fantasies. Entries about becoming one, about how Erica belongs to me, about removing obstacles. Carla flipped through pages filled with drawings, letters addressed to Erica that had never been sent, and imagined conversations written out like movie scripts. Then she found a page marked with a red tab. At the top, written in all caps, Plan E. Carla's heart skipped. The handwriting was neat, clinical. Step 1. Gain access. Step 2. Calm her. Whine. Talk. Step 3. If she says no again, it's done. Step 4. Make it look peaceful, like she gave up. Step 5. Leave no trace. Beneath that, a sketch of Erica's bathroom. Right down to the towel on the sink. Carla sat back in the silence of the room, the journal still open in her lap. There was no more guessing, no more maybe. Sam hadn't lost control. She had followed a script, word for word. And just when Carla thought she had seen it all, her partner called out from the other room. "Hey, detective." "Yeah?" "There's a false bottom in this box." Carla got up and crossed over. They pried the compartment open. Inside was a flash drive, labeled with one word, confession. Carla inserted it into the laptop. There was one file, an audio recording. She hit play. The voice on the recording was calm, familiar. It was Sam. "If you're hearing this, I guess you know by now. I never wanted to hurt her. I just wanted her to stay, but she kept pulling away, like I was a disease, like I didn't matter. They'll say I'm crazy, but I'm not. I just loved her so much, too much. She was mine." The recording ended. Carla stared at the screen, her fingers curled into fists. Now it was real, tangible. This wasn't just a murder. It was obsession, worship, control, delusion, and the final act of a woman who saw love not as something shared, but something owned. Carla glanced back at the wall of Erica's photos, then turned to the journal. The page that read Plan E fluttered slightly in the breeze of the air vent, and beneath it, faintly scribbled in pencil, was one more sentence. "I won't let her leave me again." The case was cracked wide open, but it wasn't over yet, because when they went to arrest Sam, she was gone. They found her 2 days later, sitting alone in a cheap motel room on the outskirts of Fort Worth. The room was dark, curtains drawn, the air thick with the scent of old smoke and mildew. Samantha Reyes sat on the edge of the bed, fully dressed in the same black hoodie from Erica's final night. Her face was blank, eyes swollen but dry. The television buzzed quietly with static, left on, but long since forgotten. The knock came gently at first, then harder. "Sam, it's the Dallas police. Open the door." No movement. Then came the keycard swipe and the sound of the door creaking open. Sam looked up. Didn't run. Didn't resist. She simply raised her hand slowly and said, "I know why you're here." Detective Carla Morgan approached cautiously, placing the handcuffs on Sam's wrists with mechanical precision. "You're under arrest for the murder of Erica Delgado." Sam didn't flinch, only whispered, "I didn't mean to hurt her. I just blacked out. I woke up and she was already gone." Carla didn't answer. She'd heard that kind of excuse before. Back at the station, Sam offered only a partial confession. She said it was over. Again. I begged her. I told her I'd change. But she was cold. So cold. I don't remember what happened after that. I just woke up next to her. She wasn't breathing. No remorse. No tears. Just a hollow voice and a carefully crafted narrative. But Carla had the evidence. The GPS. The wine glass. The journal. The cloud messages. The confession recording. The Plan E. There would be no plea deal. The trial began 4 months later. The courtroom was packed from the very first day. Reporters filled the front rows. Erica's friends and co-workers sat behind Jason, who remained silent, staring at the floor, clutching a photo of Erica in one hand and her engagement ring in the other. The prosecution wasted no time. They projected Sam's journal entries on a giant screen. One read aloud by the prosecutor. "She thinks she can just walk away from me. I won't let her. If I can't have her, no one can." The gallery gasped. Jason closed his eyes. Then came the texts, hundreds of them. Late night pleas. Guilt trips. Threats. "I'll tell him everything. You owe me this. I don't care what happens anymore, as long as I have you." Some messages were so disturbing that even the courtroom stenographer paused before typing them. Then came the voice recordings. The jury sat frozen as Sam's desperate sobs filled the room. "You said you loved me. Why won't you answer? I don't want to be alive if you're not mine. Tell me you didn't mean it. Please, Erica." The defense attempted damage control. They claimed mental illness, introduced a psychiatrist who diagnosed Sam with borderline personality disorder. They argued she didn't know what she was doing, that her grip on reality had fractured under emotional trauma. They called it a crime of despair, not cold-blooded murder. But the prosecution fired back with clarity. "This wasn't a breakdown," the DA thundered during closing arguments. "This was a blueprint. Samantha Reyes didn't just lose control. She planned every detail of Erica Delgado's murder, down to the position of her body, down to the typed suicide note. This wasn't passion. It was possession." Then Nina took the stand. The courtroom held its breath. She spoke about Erica's last days, her fear, the note she'd found. The night Erica cried in the hospital bathroom. "I begged her to tell me what was wrong," Nina said, her voice shaking. "She just smiled and said, 'I'm fine.' But she wasn't fine. She was terrified." When asked what she thought finally pushed Erica to the edge, Nina responded simply, "She trusted the wrong person, and she paid for it with her life." Jason never testified, but he sat through every minute of the trial. When they played the audio of Sam's confession, he finally broke, his shoulders heaving silently, the photograph of Erica pressed against his face. The jury took only 3 hours. They found Samantha Reyes guilty of first-degree murder. There were no cries of outrage, no loud reactions, just a thick silence, followed by the sound of Erica's mother sobbing into her hands. The judge sentenced Sam to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She showed no emotion, only blinked slowly and muttered, "I didn't mean to hurt her." Outside the courthouse, the media storm exploded. National outlets picked up the story within hours. "The ER affair murder," one headline blared. "Nurse love triangle ends in tragedy. A fatal obsession. She couldn't let go." Cable news shows debated every angle. Some called Erica naive. Some called Sam a monster. Others questioned whether Erica had led Sam on, or if Sam was a ticking time bomb from the start. Twitter was a battlefield. Justice for Erica trended, but so did #FreeSamantha. Supporters argued she needed help, not prison. That mental illness had gone unchecked, that the system failed them both. Jason never joined the conversation. He deleted all his social media after the verdict. He moved out of their shared townhouse a week later, left everything behind except Erica's favorite book, her stethoscope, and the engagement ring. Nina stayed at the hospital. She launched an internal campaign, pushing for mental health checks among staff and stricter boundaries between co-workers. Trinity, Mercy quietly updated its policies. No one ever saw Sam again, at least not in person. A few months after sentencing, an inmate tip reached Detective Carla Morgan. Sam had been writing letters in prison to a new nurse on the outside. They'd never met, but she told the woman she reminded her of someone she used to love. And with that, Carla realized, this story wasn't about one mistake. It was about a pattern, a sickness hiding in plain sight. And though Erica was finally at peace, the storm Sam had unleashed was still circling, just beneath the surface. Time passed, as it always does, but nothing ever really felt the same again. The sun still rose over Dallas each morning. People still buzzed in and out of Trinity Mercy Hospital. Babies were born, lives were saved, codes were called, and hearts were broken in silence behind white curtains. But something had changed. The laughter that used to echo down the halls during slow shifts was quieter now. The photo board in the ER break room, once reserved for birthday Polaroids and goofy group shots, now bore one permanent frame. Erica Delgado, 1995-2023. You made us better. You still do. Jason Miller moved into a new apartment 2 towns over. Smaller, simpler, no shared closet, no shared future. He never dated again. Friends tried, offering to set him up, suggesting he get back out there. He always smiled politely and said he wasn't ready. But deep down, he knew he never would be. On his desk sat 3 things. A photo of him and Erica at White Rock Lake, her old hospital badge in a clear holder, and a glass snow globe she'd bought him on their first trip together. He sometimes found himself staring at them for hours. He still talked to her, out loud. He imagined what she would say, about the case, about Sam, about the ring that never made it onto her finger. And every year on her birthday, he visited her grave. He never brought flowers. He brought coffee, just how she liked it. 2 creams, no sugar.